Hey college! So, have you ever listened to a piece of music and thought it sounded strange to your ear? Well, you were probably hearing modes, which are scales that were used over 1,000 years ago. Modes are scales. Some modes sound familiar to our ear, while others sound a bit strange. Modes are simply patterns of notes that move by half steps and whole steps. Let me ask you a question. Do you like ice cream? Well, if you answered yes, then you'll understand exactly how this works. Just like there are many flavors of ice cream, there are many different flavors of scales. You can't taste scales, but you can hear them. I bet you know the most popular flavor of ice cream. If you guessed vanilla, you'd be right. Do you know the second most popular flavor? Right again, it's chocolate. Now, major scales are like vanilla ice cream because they're the most popular ones. And minor scales are like chocolate ice cream because they are the second most popular. But now, can you think of some really weird and interesting flavors of ice cream? Ever try Chunky Monkey? How about Cherry Garcia? Just like these strange flavors, there are also some really strange sounding scales, or modes. Modes were used over 1,000 years ago. The word mode comes from the Latin for manner or method. But musical modes all originated in ancient Greece, so they all have Greek names. The modes were named after various regions, perhaps to represent the people who lived there, because Greek musical theorists were philosophers too, and they associated the arts with aspects of morality. Modes date back to the medieval church and Gregorian chant, and were first called church modes. Now, chronologically speaking, modes were around long before scales, and long before ice cream, too. Modes were not very popular during the last 200 years, but they've made a recent comeback. Let's talk about the first mode, Ionian. Now, if you're a musician, you play the Ionian mode all the time without really knowing it. That's because the Ionian mode contains the exact same notes as the major scale. To play on Ionian, simply start and end on C and play all basic notes. Does this sound familiar? That's simply put as C major scale or C Ionian. Let's listen again. And one last time. The next mode we're going to talk about is Dorian. So stay tuned. Catch you later.